So when I started sports, I was not a talented one, but I trained really hard. My parents were not very supportive. If you are in Hong Kong, your parents only focus on academic. So if you do something outside of academic, it's not encouraged. So because I had to always go for training after school, so it's not something that my parents would approve. So despite all the awards and medals that I won over the years, my parents have not attended any one of my races. But it's okay, make me tough. Actually, in my whole career, except the first one in sports field, basically the scary thing is I know nothing about everything. So that's the scary part. But what I want to share then, with some of the obstacles that I just mentioned, I found out that one of the key things I've built in myself is to always try to make a difference. I don't like doing things status quo. If status quo is good, there should also be a better way. If status quo is not very good, then there must be a way to change it and improve it. So along the way, I think this is something that I keep, it's my passion to make sure that I make a difference and add value, not only just to the job, but even to the people I work with. The first thing is to turn a setback into a comeback. I mentioned earlier about injury. Everyone has a knee, right? Okay. So when I was really peak in my track and field career, I was first in Asian Championship and was about to qualify for the Olympics. I had a serious knee injury when I was throwing javelin. Here on the screen, within the knee joints, you have two ligaments, very strong, holding it. And one of them, finished. Plus all the cartilage in the knee joints all crashed. It's very painful. It's not the pain, it's actually that setback. When you're in your peak, I broke a Hong Kong record 5 times in 5 months, and I was about to go to the Olympics, qualify for the Olympics. But then suddenly you have this knee injury. But this is actually the most valuable learning of my whole life. Because I learned that now I can turn any setback into a comeback within days. Because it's all about here. If it happens, it happens. So what do you want to do? It's not about asking why it happened to me, but what do you want to do? Does anything happen in my career, at the work, or outside of work, in my personal life? Every day or there's something could happen, and you feel really upset. But how do you put a positive spin into it to really make a difference out of the situation? The second thing I want to share is stop wishing and start doing. Throughout my career, there are a lot of situations where a lot of colleagues, a lot of people that I met, not only just colleagues, also in the community service, it's very easy that you criticize someone, or you criticize a situation, you criticize the leadership. But then nothing will happen. You will continue to criticize, and the situation will be the same. Is there something you can do about it? Experience of a lot of male executives. They do speak up a lot, not only just executive, even in university or students. If in a section that you're asked to give opinions, usually they raise their hands faster and they speak up without any concerns or things or what they say. But I tend to find female colleagues, including myself, a little bit hesitate. They think a bit more, which is actually a good thing, but they will not easily speak up. But then in your career, as you progress, there are situations where you're in a small team, you're in a bigger team, you're with other teams. If you don't speak up and share your opinions, people don't know you. They don't know what value add. I also find it quite difficult to speak up. It's also my tendency to also think carefully before I say anything. But sometimes opportunities only split of a second. If you don't speak up, you lost that opportunity. You have to wait for the next meeting or the next time. But of course, again, you have to be prepared. Don't say something silly. It's not going to be very helpful with your career. If you say something, you should have a value add. It should really be, you try to make a difference. And this is also very important, I learned over the years. Respect doesn't come with your job title. Okay, even I give you a CEO title today, will people respect you? They don't know you. They will listen to you in the meeting, but they don't know you. They don't know that you have value add, they don't know how good you are. If you want them to respect you and want them to respect A.S. Watson, you have to earn it. You have to be very professional, you have to be very fair, you have to gain trust from your colleagues in the same team, in different teams, in different countries, in different companies. So how is your personal value, how you always be honest, and how you communicate a message and really gain the trust. The last thing is concludes everything. It's not what happens to your life that matters, it's how you respond to what happens to your life that really make a difference in your life, in your career. So it's not about whether you're female or males, it's not about what nationality you are, not what ranking you are, and not whether you have obstacles or whether you're really lucky. Even if you're really lucky, how do you actually handle that, respond to that, and make it even more successful? So I think that concludes my sharing. You probably want to know the results. What do you think are the 5 most important traits in successful females? Actually, most of you rank confidence, followed by make a difference, and ambitious. Do you recall the first slide? Okay, I'll make it easy for you. So on the right is your first slides. On the left is what you think important for successful female leaders. Ambitious and confidence, you think is not your strength, but you think is important for successful leaders. Do you want to know what I think? I think it's not important. I think you already have the right leadership qualities. I do not think ambitious and confidence are the most important. If you have the passion to really make a difference, you will have that confidence. You don't need to be really ambitious, but then you're hardworking, and then you will get there. So this is what I believe. I'm with you on your right side. So I think you have the right qualities in the room to be a very successful leader. I also asked myself what are the key ones that I think is important. The key ones that I'm currently working on myself is the humility, specifically the intellectual humility. Intellectual humility, I think it means that I will give more space to my colleagues to contribute. I should not always think that I have the best solution ever amongst everyone. I'm too quick sometimes to offer a solution and don't allow space for colleagues to contribute. So this is something that I'm working on right now. Because with the pace that we are driving at A.S. Watson, everything needs to happen yesterday. So sometimes how to balance allowing space for colleagues to contribute and make a bit of mistakes versus you have to get it right for the first time. So this is an ongoing challenge that I've put myself to improve. But again, I don't think ambitious is something important. If you stay focused on making a difference in what you do in your life and in career, I think that will take you to a very successful level. And confidence, as I mentioned, a lot of the things that I do in my career, I know nothing about it, seriously. But if you are curious, you always try to find out how to do things. You ask people, don't think that you are the best in the room. Then you will be able to find a solution. I think it's important for you to know that in A.S. Watson, there are no female leaders. They are just leaders. You are lucky to be in a group. We are not a group with a very hierarchical. We are not political. We look at everyone's performance, competencies, we have clear KPIs, and we always have a culture to promote from within. So we look for leaders in the team, in the department, in the cross-team project, in the country. We constantly looking internally for leaders. And we don't score you whether you are male or female. We basically look at your performance. So there's no special difference between the genders.